For 9 days now, the EU Solar team and 30 Micronesian technicians have been traveling the Pacific Ocean on board the Caroline Voyager. They've taken on an unusual mission: the installation of solar systems on remote islands in the FSM. They've finally reached their goal, Azor, and have just 5 days to erect an entire power station on the island. It's a 30-person team, all with various degrees of technical training and all fascinated by solar technology. Most are trainees. Employees of the government departments for transport, communication, and infrastructure are also participating, as well as people working in telecommunications. Some employees from the College of Micronesia have also come along.
Right, good.
They work very independently, and after several installations, we can be really proud of them. From people who never had a solar panel in their hands, we have now solar technicians or junior technicians, and I think all of us are very proud with the results.
From the charge controller positive battery, we go to the circuit breaker so that we can disconnect, like in the other systems we've done, and we connect this to the battery. So solar in here, circuit breaker, through this charge controller, through that circuit breaker to the battery.
For Axel, it's the moment of truth. He's in charge of the group working on the power center, the heart of the facility. In just a few months, these Micronesian technicians have clearly learned their handiwork well under the tutelage of the EU Solar engineers. Axel is proud of his team.
In the beginning, while you do training and, you have a lot of theory and you don't know how much people really grab of that, understand. It's been remarkable for me now to see that everybody has something to offer in one way or another, and that's really been rewarding to make an effort in one way or another, wherever somebody is good. So that's been very nice for me.
The short links for the batteries have arrived from Fadrai and fitted into place. There's been enough excitement around here. Time to call it quits. Everyone's still going strong in front of the power center. The electric cables to the households are being laid underground. Above-ground mains are too vulnerable to storms. Yaps Utility is working hard at getting everyone hooked up, and the islanders are lending a hand as well. Even though it's being financed by the EU, power here won't be free of charge.
There has to be some sense of ownership, so people will get cash power meters that they will have to pay for the electricity that they're consuming, and that also will keep them thinking about their consumption and make sure that they switch off the lights when they're not needed. And also use efficient appliances. So that's important. That message has to come across because people do not have that history of using electricity like we have.
Azor is a small island with just 19 households and about 50 residents. A good 300 islanders are gone, working elsewhere, going to school, or simply in search of a place where life is a bit easier, where there's light, television, or a refrigerator. Linda was born on the island and still likes it here. She hopes that the electricity will tempt members of her family to return, to the prospects of a better quality of life. All the islanders opted explicitly for solar-generated power. They rejected a diesel generator out of hand. Evening wraps itself around paradise. Relaxing in the hammock with solar chit-chat instead of cocktails. The view, though, pretty much makes up for any lack of luxury. Linda reads her book, as she always does in the evening. She's looking forward to finally being able to turn on a light to read by at the end of the week. Jos can't let it go and takes a part of his team back to Fadrai. Even though they can't build the facility this week, they can at least set up the batteries and get the power center ready. The batteries are being filled with battery acid today in Asur. This battery type has proven itself equal to the difficult climatic conditions. It'll survive for 10 years, if regularly serviced and topped up with distilled water by the local operator. Sustainability and durability of the installed systems are very important, as the islands are very remote. When the batteries need to be replaced at some point in the future, they'll be recycled.
Albert, check up here. Okay, stop.
Installing the modules is turning out to be problematic. The foundations weren't laid exactly according to plan. They're closer together than they should be.
That's 15 degrees. Yeah? So what we need to know is this.
Now the panel's angle has to be checked for accuracy. They can't throw any shadows onto their neighbors.
Yeah, but the angle is easy to calculate.
Fortunately, there's internet, and the course of the sun can be determined precisely.
30, 40, so it's at 240 degrees. On the other side we have 35.
The angle is okay. Work can proceed. On day 2 on Asur, the system is actually being put together much faster than expected. Peter has a radio date this afternoon. He wants to know how Jos and his team are doing on Fadrai.
Hey, Fadrai.
Yeah, hello, this is Fadrai, go ahead.
Okay, here's Peter.
Okay, thank you. Peter, come in.
Hello, Mr. Fadrai. This is Peter Asho, over.
The work is here is going, not that it's going slow, but it's very hard work. The battery room is a complete hothouse, as you can imagine, without ventilation. And the batteries are extremely heavy. We've been working since this morning on putting the batteries on the rack, over.
Okay, copy that. So, nothing what you need from here to support you guys over there, over?
No, at the moment everything is fine. We have everything that we need.
Things are going full steam ahead on site in Asur. The first test run is meant to take place in 2 days' time. Getting to this point, erecting a solar power facility here took a long, long time. The REP5 program itself was developed in 2006, and a list of potential projects was drawn up. Then followed many discussions with the islanders and the utilities. Feasibility studies were commissioned. The photovoltaic systems designed. The entire process took over 2 years, and then in just 4 months, each project suddenly sprang to life. The entire REP5 program cost 12.4 million euros for the FSM and the other 4 Pacific Island nations. That was part 5 in our series, Solar in Paradise. In the next and final episode, you'll find out if Asur gets its power plant. Stay tuned.
Si